You can't remember what you ate for lunch 3 days ago, but you can replay in total clarity the exact sentence you said in front of the wrong person 10 years ago. The words, your own voice, what you were wearing, where you were standing when the room went quiet. Your brain erased a meal without a second thought. And it's kept this one memory in perfect resolution for a decade. So why does this one get to stay? Your first guess is probably that it just mattered more. That doesn't hold up. You've had bigger things happen since then. A promotion, a move, relationships that lasted years. Most of that has gone soft at the edges, blurred into a general impression, instead of a scene you could replay frame by frame. But the 10 seconds where you said the wrong thing? Still sharp. Still ready to surface at 1 a.m. for no reason at all. Bigger events faded. This one didn't. So it isn't about size. Then what is it about? Here's the first real clue. What your body was doing while it happened. Heat in your face, a drop in your stomach. That specific urge to physically disappear. Those aren't just feelings. In a moment like that, your body often floods itself with stress hormones, adrenaline, cortisol, the same broad chemical toolkit it reaches for when something feels genuinely threatening, just aimed here at your reputation instead of your safety. And moments that arrive with that chemical signature don't get treated like ordinary memories. This is where it gets specific. Strong emotional arousal doesn't just make a moment feel bigger. It changes how your brain handles it. Your amygdala doesn't just react to what's happening, it also helps modulate how strongly your hippocampus locks the moment in. Your brain isn't building some special vault just for embarrassing moments. It's simpler and stranger than that. Emotional intensity, in general, makes memories more likely to stick. Humiliation happens to be one of the most intense things you'll ever feel, which explains why it got encoded so strongly in the first place. It doesn't explain why it's still this vivid 10 years later. Here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. The moment you keep replaying probably isn't what actually happened. Memory isn't a recording, it's a reconstruction. Every single time you pull one up, your brain doesn't play back a stored file. It rebuilds the scene from fragments, live on the spot right then. Which means every time you replayed that moment, lying awake, cringing, running it back one more time, you weren't rewatching it. You were rebuilding it. And every rebuild is a chance for it to shift. Sharpen in some places. Exaggerate in others. Drift a little further from what actually happened. You aren't remembering the moment. You're remembering the last version of it. So if this system keeps quietly rewriting the memory every single time you touch it, why does your brain still bother keeping it around at all? One explanation, and it's not the only one, but it's one evolutionary psychologists take seriously. For most of human history, people lived in small, tightly interdependent groups. Your standing in that group was closely tied to your safety, to your chances of building a life there at all. Getting cast out wasn't just uncomfortable, it carried real risk. That doesn't mean every awkward memory is a life or death alarm. It means you may be carrying a threat detection system tuned for a world where social rejection had actual stakes, a system that's still running even now long after most of those stakes disappeared. But if this system's entire job was protecting your standing with the people around you, it left out one detail. It never checked whether anyone else was actually paying attention in the first place. Here's the detail that should genuinely make you feel better. What's well established, people consistently overestimate how much others notice them. Psychologists call it the spotlight effect. Everyone in that room was far more focused on their own experience of it than on cataloging yours. What's less certain is whether they still remember it the way you do. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But the moment almost certainly never took up the space in their head that it's taken up in yours. You're not sharing this memory with anyone. You're the only one still holding the file. So the next time that memory surfaces uninvited in that same high-definition detail, it's not proof it mattered as much as it felt like it did. It's a warning system that did its job so well, it never learned when to stop. You didn't fail to move on. The alarm just never got the signal to stand down.